So guys, before this video starts, I just gotta let you know that
Although it
this
looks like
was
the
taken
stream
a
might be
long time ago. Like
a little
almost a
laggy,
year ago, I
someone's
think.
saying there.
Back when JayBratt had
Yeah,
10,
sorry for that.
like around
Twitch has always
10,000
been weird for me like that. Like
subscribers.
every time I
And
stop my
boy, is
my
this nostalgic.
it
Honestly,
just does the
while
jump thing. Every
editing
time I
this
stop
and
moving my
while
mouse, it just
like
does the
right
jump thing. It does that for
before
YouTube.
editing this, I had nostalgia tears
I
from
don't know how to
watching and
fix
listening.
it.
And also some moments like, how do I not remember
VRC,
this guy?
he says
And also
all the
some things
alerts on your
about,
Discord would
oh
give
my
him
gosh, did he
anxiety. I'm the same way. I have
predict
to go
that?
through and
Did,
clear
did
my
he actually
alerts.
predict
That's why
that?
I'm only a member of
Yeah,
like
so hope you
5
have
Discords or
fun. Please
something.
like, please subscribe, and
Yeah,
just
I
have
have
a
a
good
hard time
day.
with those red
I
number
stream on
ones.
Twitch a lot, and
I don't really know
and also
how to
follow
get rid of the
and subscribe to
alerts,
JayBratt.
'cause there's
JayBratt has
so
been a great
many
sport
of
about
them.
everything,
And sometimes
we
I don't
might
know
be
if they're important
collabing
or
in the
not.
future, maybe, maybe. Anyway,
True.
just watch the interview of JayBratt.
Okay. So,
It looks like
crap.
the stream might be a little laggy, someone's saying there.
Yeah, sorry for that. Twitch has always been weird for me like that. Like every time I stop my it just does the jump thing. Every time I stop moving my mouse, it just does a jump thing. It does that for YouTube too. I don't know how to fix it.
VRC, he says all the alerts on your Discord would give him anxiety. I'm the same way. I have to like go through and clear my alerts. That's why I'm only a member of like 5 Discords or something. It's I have a
Yeah,
hard time with those red number ones.
yeah, I don't really know how to get rid of the alerts because there's so many of them, and sometimes
Yep.
I don't know if they're important or not.
True.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you get a lot of your news for it? Did you just do research or did you have like a site that was giving you a lot of news?
So I follow, some of the major ones on Twitter. Upload VR is a huge VR news site, and I keep an eye on those, especially because I also am on a podcast separately, and we talk about VR news every week on the podcast. And if there's something compelling or something interesting that I think I want to bring to my audience, I'll make a video about it in the news. I don't cover a lot of news though, because news can be a dangerous thing to try to chase on YouTube and make videos of. Uh, if you try to chase it too much, you end up getting very stressed out about like getting the news ahead of others and getting your videos out faster. And a news article can come up at 11 o'clock at night, and then you're up making a video and trying to get it out before everyone else. So I only do it when I find something really interesting or compelling. Otherwise, I don't want to be one of those YouTube channels that's just constantly chasing the news and stressed out. Because like I said, I want this to be a hobby, something I like to do, and chasing the news can very quickly change it from being something you really enjoy to something you feel like you're chasing your tail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like I just try to do streaming for fun. I don't try to like do it like full time because I know one, I won't make it big, and two, I'm just gonna end up hating it if I do.
A lot of things like that in life. A lot of people try and turn their hobby into a career, and then they end up hating what was once their loved hobby. I know some photographers who struggle with that same thing. So you have to be careful with anything you want to do. Decide if you like it enough to try to do it for a job, but if it's going to ruin it for you, is that worth the risk? So that's why I never think of this as a job. This is always still a fun hobby that I do, something that I use just to fill some of my time and enjoy hanging out with the community. And as long as I never call it work, I feel like it'll never be work.
That's a good advice to give to people. Like if they're stressed out, like animators, for example, like for small time animators, like Pymations. What's another one? The people who's always on like CG Meetup. Omleto, I'm pretty sure is one of them. VisiPop. They probably don't think of it as work. They think of it as fun because the stuff they're making is their stuff. They get to decide when it's released. They get to decide when they're working on it. They get to decide how they want to use it and how they want to spend it.
I hope so, yeah, because animation is a ton of work. Like you can still enjoy it, but it takes so much time to do so little in animation. I don't think I could ever do animation personally.
Yeah. Honestly, was trying to do kind of animation, but I only made it for like my friend. I made a couple renders and one animation of a spider guy falling. It's a Minecraft spider guy falling. I might send it to you actually, because I mean it's my first animation. It sucks, and it'll be funny.
Well, yeah, definitely. I can look at that after this because yeah, I love the idea of animating, but even like trying to make like a bottom thirds or something for my YouTube videos, it's like wow, you can't believe how much time you put into like one tiny little thing of just a mouse pointer like moving and clicking on stuff. Like it's amazing that people do animation.
I know, right? Listen, imagine you doing something like that. I don't think you
Yeah.
will. Good. Like then you would end up hating your job.
That's the
And
whole problem. You don't want to hate it, yeah.
yeah,
VRC is asking in the chat if you have a YouTube. Do you? I feel like you only do Twitch, but do you have a YouTube channel?
I used to, and then I stopped because
Okay.
for one, I actually started getting hate because people said that they didn't like how I looked. They don't like that I wore glasses. I don't know why. It's just like you stupid.
It's their problem. When people give you a hateful comment, it's their issue that they're dealing with and they're taking it out on someone else. So that's why I never worry about them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. If it looks weird on stream, I'm just trying to make it so you can see him. There we go. Like the best. You see him best right there. And also,
Hopefully, as long as the audio isn't choppy, hopefully that'll help them.
I hope it isn't. I'm just gonna like. Do I still have that? Yes, I do. How do I? I'm gonna get rid of that because I'm, no, I don't want. Yeah, there we go. So, how did you end up just wanting? Wait, what the? Okay.
Okay, VRC says the audio sounds good, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, they can see part of the chat. Hold on. Part of our freaking chat. Just like, hey,
No
that's
worries.
personal stuff. You cannot see that. Never. We'll never show that. Ever.
So that you started to ask another question there.
Yeah, what was it? People said they hated the way I spoke, sounded, etc. Yeah, like, same here.
That's what happens. You just have to, fight through that. It's tough, I know, because you can take it really personally, but like people are just gonna be like that. You have to keep on going, knowing that eventually you'll find the people that are gonna like you, like what you have to say, and hear you, and just don't worry about the haters. And YouTube, the funny thing that a lot of people didn't know about YouTube, like they talk about, oh, people getting these hateful comments. Like as a YouTube channel, you're allowed to delete the comments too. Like you don't have to leave them up on videos. Like if someone leaves a comment that's just pure hatred, I'll just delete it. Like if it's someone that I feel like is on the fence and I can like turn them around if I say the right thing or like show them another point of view, I might do that in the comment back to them. But if it's just purely a troll, I just delete it and move on because it's like, what's the point of leaving it there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? I just, honestly, I usually just keep, like, I kept them up for the, like, back, the reason I stopped YouTube was because I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. I just felt like it was just not gonna work out for me at that point, cause like back then I was just streaming on PS4. I was using the
Yeah.
I was using the PSVR camera to stream.
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have the equipment, I know. Like you feel like, they're not the stream may not always be of the quality you want it to be, and that can make it hard. Although I understand because in the beginning, I don't know if I've told you this, I tell people this a lot when they're starting out. I actually posted 100 videos on my YouTube channel before we hit 100 subscribers.
Oh
So,
man,
sometimes
that's
you just have to keep going. You have to do it because you like doing it, not because you're expecting anything in return.
yeah. I never knew you did that. I actually
Yeah.
so I didn't start from day one. I started from a while ago later because I started watching you a while later. Like, when was your start of the PSVR stuff? Because I knew you.
So the first video would have been just about a little over 2 years ago now. May 28th, 2019 was some of the first videos we started posting. And what I did back then was I posted a lot of Beat Saber videos, but I also posted other videos like my PSVR mixed reality Beat Saber video was like actually one of the earliest videos on the channel. So like I would make, I would spend a day filming 7 or 10 Beat Saber videos, and I would just schedule those out on the channel daily. And then the other days I would use to make the passion projects, the videos I really wanted to make, like that PSVR mixed reality, like the PSVR driving game mixed reality stuff I was trying to do. That was all stuff I wanted to really do. Oh, I just punched the mic. That probably sounded awful. And so during those off days that I already had videos scheduled, then I would post the other big videos that I tried to make, some of the early unboxings and that stuff. But the Beat Saber videos was how I kept those daily uploads going for a long time. So I think the PSVR tracking video was the first thing that just really took off and grew the channel a ton. And I posted that in January of 2020.
That was the one that got me in with you. Because I was having...
That brought a lot of people in. Yeah.
Yeah, I was having a lot of trouble with the PSVR tracking. And also, I'm sorry for your legendary VRC. That people are like that to you. And also, I never ever name under the sun. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of words.
It doesn't need to be like that. And VRC, I wouldn't have actually guessed that. You do a great job in your videos, so keep up the good work, buddy. But yeah, I always encourage people with that, the 100 videos, 100 subscriber thing, because people don't see that when they see your channel. Humans, we have a tendency to look at something as it stands and think that's what it is. We don't see, you don't see a car driving down the road that's an old beat up Mustang and you think, oh, that's an old beat up car. Well, you didn't know 1 month prior it was a rusty pile that wasn't even driving and someone's in the process of fixing it up. We only look at things where they're at, and now we don't think about the journey. And so that's something I always try to remind people on YouTube, because they're like, how did you get here? How did this happen? It's like, there were times where, we thought it was always going to be a 500 subscriber channel for fun. We didn't know that it would be pushing on 10,000 right now either. So you have to remember, people are only going to look at where you're at now and judge you. And you just can't worry about that judgment. You got to keep on trucking.
Which is amazing, my dude. That's some inspirational words that people should live by.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have that thing about you that that Steve knows, that Perpetual, I think that's one of their names, the Thrill Seeker doesn't have. You have a really good personality, which they do too, but you have you. So remember that. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their own personality. And don't be mad when someone says yours is bad. And
yeah. It's very true. And one thing that I truly believe about YouTube that I tell people is there is an audience for everyone, no matter what your content is. There's a guy who only uploads videos of him sneezing, and he has like a ton of followers. He was actually talked about on Taj.0. He came on the Taj.0.
What?
Like, yeah, there is an audience for everyone. The question is, do you have the drive and the perseverance to keep uploading and keep making those videos and get to that point? Because you'll get there, but it can be for some people it can be a month and they make it there, and some people it can be many years. So it's more about perseverance than anything else. But yeah, that's no joke. That guy was on Taj.0 and he just posts videos of him sneezing. It's quite gross in my mind, but someone apparently likes it. It's like those pimple popping videos. That is gross.
I mean,
to me, but millions of people watch them.
Yeah, and the pimple popping videos. I mean, like, my mom's a doctor, so I have to kind of like. I'm trying to research on this kind of stuff. Try to, not really research, just try to see. She's a chiropractic, so I want to learn more about the human body because she actually got me kind of into it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm
cool. I can't handle it, but that's cool if you're into it. If you want to learn about it and see that stuff. The last job I had before I went to YouTube, I was managing dental offices, and sometimes the doctors would call me back in the middle of a procedure because they had like a really good example of something they were doing and they wanted to take a picture of it to share with their peers. And so he'd call me back and like someone has their mouth wide open, their gums are all open, he's inside their jaw asking me to take pictures of this. And I'm like, trying not to look freaked out, trying not to look squeamish because the patient's awake. And I'm trying to do this and it's just like, oh, that was not something I enjoyed doing.
I thought you were a manager. Kind of.
Yeah, I managed a chain of dental offices was the last job I had before that. And then before that, I was a Starbucks manager and a Safeway manager. I did a bunch of different stuff. But the very last one I was managing, what they're actually called endodontic offices. So they're like specialty work. They're like implants and root canals and episiotomy, stuff that's all inside of your mouth.
Yeah. So how did you manage to pay for all the stuff you have? Like, I thought you said you don't have a job anymore other than YouTube.
I don't. So we had some savings before I left work, and my wife does have a good job. She's very supportive of what we're doing here. And then a good part of it comes from now that the channel's monetized. There's been some extremely generous donations. I think about like a Fissy King Sloth, who's a very big channel supporter, donated, like $1,000 in 1 month.
What?
And that was how, yeah, that was how we bought our 4K camera that John uses to shoot our videos. And then other things, we've been very fortunate with companies. The desk I'm using right now was sent to us to review.
I remember that
these VR
video.
stands. Yeah, the one that's behind me over there. We get sent a lot of equipment to test and review, and then of course that gets used on the channel, and that really helps a lot too, because a lot of this stuff is very expensive, and when companies want the exposure, they want your opinions on it, they send it to you, then you end up with all this stuff that you can either give away or have and use, and it really helps growing YouTubers, because that's typically that's one of the first things that happens for a lot of people who start a YouTube channel, is a company reaches out to them and offers, send them some products for them to test. And that's where a lot of people feel like it's really a real channel then, but it's amazing. Even at when I was really new, places found me and, offered to send me microphones and stuff. So that really helps.
Hey, can I have some of them? I'm joking. I really like music and rap, and I'm trying to make my own. I just don't really know where to get the beat. That's the only problem.
Well, hey, I'm always giving away stuff, so watch out for that, especially on the channel of the Discord. We can talk about it after this. If you need a mic or something, I usually have a few spares laying around, so we can talk.
Yeah, I was joking, dude. I don't really want any giveaways. I usually think that other people should get it than me.
Well, that's nice of you.
Anyway, like, how much does this make compared to like your old job? Does probably not a lot as compared.
So I looked at it recently, and something that I've always said on the channel is I'll always be very open and honest with the community about the money it makes, because I believe that in all places in life, people should be more honest and open, because like if you tell people what your salary is, if they ask you, then they can know, is that a job I want? Is that the money I can make? And then if they try to work in another place like your job, they can come in with some knowledge and say, hey, I know what this job is worth. I know what other people make for this job. And then the company can't underpay them, because that happens a lot, because they try and discourage people talking about their salaries. So for instance, like this channel, I looked it up. We only got monetized about a year ago. And in the last year, the channel has made just about $10,000. It was a little over $10,000
in just a year.
Yeah, in 1 year.
That's pretty good for a side hobby.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it's not career status money. When I think of a career, most career type jobs, you're making at least $40,000 a year. So
that's
it's not nearly. That's at least what most people would say. You're getting into career status at that level of pay, and so for this to make $10,000 for what I do, for how I get to wake up every day and decide whether I want to do this or not, that's pretty amazing in my mind. But it takes time. There was a year and a half that I was doing the channel before that it didn't make any money, really, because we weren't monetized. You have to get to those marks before you can make money. And so some channels make tons of money, some channels make no money. So it has to be, if you're willing to do this, you have to be prepared. The hours you put in for a long time will not feel like they're making the money back to make it worth it as a job. But once you get to this point, especially like me, if you keep thinking of it as a hobby, that's amazing. The channel pays for itself. It pays for all of its expenses. It makes extra money on top of it. That's all I really ever hoped the channel could do. So the fact that we're there is just amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say about it. It's cool.
It's incredible what has happened in the years. 10 years ago, you probably couldn't make money at all on any of this. Nowadays, it's not a crazy thought to share your money with creators, with the people who's making your site what it is, what created it in the first place. But it's just amazing what can come of it. Some people have their lives changed by YouTube. Like some people who are poor now like rich. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he was poor, but MatPat, for example, he was a theater kid, could almost not pay to go to England for a play, which he said in the video. And now look at him. He's in he's living his best life right now with a lot of people on his team helping him out.
Yeah, I remember hearing someone talking about Casey Neistat when he posted his first vlog. He was like $144,000 in debt or something. Like, you know, you look at these people and it's, you know, they're these huge celebrities, and it's because this website allows you to upload content and actually make money off of it, which is, you know, you think about other social media, they don't set you up for success like that. They don't let you monetize, even though YouTube doesn't pay a lot in comparison to, you know, what people think it should pay and stuff. Like, I can't just upload things to Instagram every day and expect it to just start paying money on its own. Like, I have to look for brand deals, or I have to look for other things that I don't actually do, you know. So YouTube, it's just such a rare opportunity. And I hope other social media starts to follow that model. You know, it should be able to be paid if you're putting in that kind of work for it. It shouldn't just be a thing on the side for some people.
Yeah, it shouldn't really be a side job if they're putting so much money into it, but not a lot's coming out. And also, congrats on getting your feel you there, VRC. Yeah, he does. I put a lot of money in stuff. I don't really do this for like a job. I don't get any money out of this. I don't expect to. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm doing this to make friends. I'm doing this mainly for me. Because
That's all the right reasons, in my opinion.
Yeah. I got an old PC. I got a $60 mic. I got probably old keyboard. I got an old mouse, a bad monitor, but I'm still happy. It's not like I'm gonna be like pissing my pants because oh wow, I don't got good stuff. Give me your stuff. No, I'm just me.
I actually have two bad monitors, so I understand. You know, it's the monitors for me don't matter that much because it's all I do the VR. So I actually have two monitors people gave me. They're old, whatever monitors. It's not my priority to have a good monitor. So I feel you.
Yeah.
One of these is like a friend had it in his closet, just some old crappy monitor. I was like, hey,
if it's HDMI, that's a steal. If that's HDMI, that's a freaking steal because mine doesn't have HDMI at all. Mine has VGA and DisplayPort.
Yep,
and my graphics card
my old
doesn't
one
have
had,
DisplayPort, so I had to use the VGA.
My old one didn't. It didn't even have DisplayPort. It had DVI or VGA, and so I had to get adapters for my old monitor.
I mean, yeah, mine was honestly, I'm okay with not having the luxuries of this. I just want to be, yes, I feel you, Legendary. I just want to be known as a good person. I'm not trying to become the best man ever. I'm not trying to become the best Twitch streamer ever. I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to do what I feel is fun to do. And I'm trying to make friends.
Well, you're doing it. And it's all the right reasons, like I said. What other questions do you have here? I know we're getting off on a lot of YouTube tangents and all that stuff, and I love talking about, but what else were you hoping to find out or talk about today?
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you feel about I think ByteDance. Yeah, ByteDance purchasing Pico, the competitor for Facebook.
I am very curious about it. I will say that the Pico Neo, you know, yeah, it is like a competitor, but a lot of the headsets have been more expensive and they haven't just been as well known of a name. But I'm curious about ByteDance as the owner of TikTok. TikTok is a huge enterprise. I truly would like to see the statistics if they would share them from YouTube as far as how much YouTube's watch time has changed because of TikTok being on the market. I feel like a lot of people, you know, we still watch YouTube. You know, I sit down on the couch, I turn it on my TV, I watch videos all the time, but like for a lot of people, you know, that bathroom app, if you know what I mean, when you need to go sit in the bathroom for a few minutes, it's become TikTok for them. It's not YouTube. And I just don't know where VR fits into their model right now. They must be looking to the future. They must be knowing that there's something coming with this conversation about a metaverse that they want. These companies are hoping that people are going to start spending all their time in a metaverse similar to the Oasis of Ready Player One. They may be looking that far into the future, but right now it's hard to think. TikTok, even the VR scene on TikTok is not huge. It's yeah. What do you think? Do you have some thoughts too you want to discuss about? Because I'm curious. What a lot of people think is like, I do a little bit of TikTok. I'm really bad about posting on there. I need to be better about it because I know that TikTok is huge and has a big future ahead of it. But I don't see where ByteDance and the Pico Neo fit into it all yet.
So I'm thinking that ByteDance might be thinking for the future. Like, VR is becoming this huge thing since the original Rift came along. They were probably thinking of doing, like, ever since they got what did ByteDance work on? I'm pretty sure they actually did a VR thing back then. Just gotta look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up because I'm curious too. I haven't really followed that company at all in anything that they've done because I hadn't heard of them in the VR realm.
I haven't heard of them at all before the freaking TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, ByteDance VR. Oh! I think the first thing that pops up is Microsoft Virtual Machine. I'm pretty sure they're the ones who made those VR machines. The ones who like the where is it? Dave and Buster's. Dave and Buster's is one of the main places to have it, but they have these they have HTC Vives attached to them, and they're like these roller coaster type things. Sometimes they're used for
like it looks like a big giant egg and you sit in it. It's like a motion simulator kind of thing.
Kind of, except the thing I'm not talking about it does not look like an egg. It looks like just a minute. I think I can Dave and Buster's VR. It doesn't look like an egg. It looks more like a box. Here's the perfect one. Here's the one that I actually went on. Except it had more games and not just Jurassic World.
Oh, okay. I actually was going to go to a Dave and Buster's here and try that out. We never quite made it though.
So that's what it looks like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were actually going to go to the Dave and Buster's here, and then the whole pandemic started, and we never made it.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go on one before that. Like, I went on Dave and Buster's. There was like a really cool dragon ride that we went on, and I'm happy that we managed to go on that. None of us expected this thing to happen.
Yeah, some of those are really cool, especially when they have the motion in there too, moving you around. We went on one in Chicago that was like a roller coaster where you had headsets on. They were actually Oculus Rift headsets, and you flew all around through Chicago, but in like a Tron universe kind of thing. And yeah, some of those were really cool. So I definitely think all these companies, the conversation about the metaverse has become this big conversation, not only in VR but in the tech industry as a whole. And I think that buying Pico is probably ByteDance's move to make sure that they don't get left behind in that conversation. Yeah, I think that they're there. I don't know if they have their own huge aspirations or ideas how they're going to fit in yet, but as long as they own one of the headsets that gets people into it, then they are a part of it.
I actually have an idea of what they might do. They might make like a, metaverse. I know you know what the metaverse is, but they might have like a TikTok place where you go in, you use the controllers to scroll down, like click, scroll up, so it goes down, click, scroll, and then when you see a video, it like has this like this phone looking thing. It turns on and then it plays the video. Something like that maybe would be pretty cool.
Kind of bring their whole TikTok app into the metaverse in there. Yeah.
Yeah, or be able to or just record it and put it straight to TikTok. Like,
yeah,
I know
TikTok, they stayed ahead of the curve, I think, in the way that nobody liked watching vertical videos several years ago. That was not how you watched videos. It wasn't how you consumed media. And they kind of turned everything on its side when they said we're only going to be vertical videos, because they realized, everyone has a phone, everyone can shoot vertical videos easily. So maybe with the Pico, they're thinking, maybe they're going to be the first to say, okay, we're going to do this thing in the metaverse, but it's only going to be shot in 360 or 180 VR videos. Because a lot of these headsets are not only going to have the capability to watch the content, but with all these cameras on the outside, they're going to be able to start creating that content. I mean, you think about, what if you did your dance, your TikTok dance in a room with a bunch of people, but you held up your Oculus Quest 2 with all of its cameras on it, and it recorded it instead of recording it with your phone? You could then be capturing VR video yourself with these. And of course, the Oculus Quest 2 has black and white cameras. It's not to that point. But the new Pro, the Pico Neo, these things are all going to go the direction of having full color cameras and augmented reality built into them too. Maybe they're going to be the first to say, hey, we now have this platform where you can come watch VR content only, and it's all you can get from this new app they create. I don't know. Be interesting to see if they do that.
Yeah. There is a lot going on in the VR space right now. There is the just 1 year anniversary of the Quest 2. There is, it's probably 2 year by now. Should be.
1 year with the Quest 2, 2 years since the Quest 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible how long, like, back when the Quest 1 released, I thought it was a washed down version. I thought it was like a phone VR because the way they marketed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was trying to get a Rift, and that's what, before I knew what the Rift S was, I thought the Rift S was the HTC Vive Pro. Every time I drew down Rift S, I always drew down like those little dents in the HTC Vive, thinking that was, yeah. I'm honestly embarrassed about that, but yeah, I got
There's
Discord.
so many, and it's been a good month for VR. Speaking of that, 'cause I mean, for the last 6 months, it seemed like we were in a dry spell. No big games were coming, no new headsets are coming, and now this month alone, we're hearing about multiple headsets.
Yeah, this
October
week
is
alone.
October's just the month of VR for some reason.
I know, right? And the links. Oh God, we need to talk about the links. It's coming, and it's already got almost double the amount it's needed to actually start production. It's probably gonna sell for like $500 in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But geez, it basically a bigger competitor, like an actual thing they need to worry about to the Quest 2.
I think that there are finally going to be, there's needed to be competition against the Quest 2 for 2 years now, and we haven't seen it. So I'm glad that these are stepping in, but the problem is a lot of them are still coming in so expensive that people may not see them as a competitor. You look at 2 VR headsets and one's 300, one's 500. Most people are easily going to go for 300. That's a much lower price point. So I think someone needs to at least break into that $400 market before Oculus is going to even feel threatened by any of these headsets.
Yeah, or a $200 headset. I mean, Facebook will probably do it because they have a lot of expendable income and they sell information. So that's probably the main reason why it's so cheap. Or they're just using really cheap heatsink and the really cheap plastic. Because I know they skimmed down on the packaging. Because I have a Quest and I got to open it. It's like weird packaging.
Yeah, they made it as cheap as possible so they could sell. They still sell it at a loss, but they made the headset as cheap as possible so the loss wouldn't be too huge to sell at that price. Bye, VRC.
Bye, VRC. Have a good day. See ya, VRC.
He actually guessed it on our podcast last night.
What? You guessed he was... Wait.
He was a guest on our podcast last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said he guessed this on our podcast.
No.
I was like, how could he have guessed it? You didn't even know that.
What do you think? I know you're the one asking the questions here, but I'm curious. Have you looked at any of the stuff about the Vive Flow that HTC just announced?
The Vive Flow. I've heard about that. I haven't done a lot of research, but I've done some. So I think that was their... So with the research I actually have a theory that some people haven't figured out yet. I think that this upcoming headset is the earlier model of what they did originally for the design of. Remember that headset that people were crazy about? It looked like a gym headset they were making, like with the straps on the head, like the very small, compact design, good for working out. It was white.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, the Vive Focus or something.
No, the Vive Focus is a real
original,
thing. No, the Vive
but not
Focus
the
is a real
original.
thing. This thing wasn't released at all. I gotta find it. Please, Vive design for VR headset.
Was it the Vive Eye?
Maybe, but
I feel like I don't remember if the Eye got released.
like it was something.
No, the Vive Eye is a pro model. Yeah,
Uh,
I vaguely remember kind of what you're talking about. I remember there was some headset, but I thought it was.
oh, here it is.
ended
Here
up
it
being
is. Just a minute.
What's it called?
It doesn't give a name. Vive Air. The Vive Air.
Ah, that was it.
Here, I'll give you an image.
Yeah, it looked really like an Oculus Quest and a Google. The Google Daydream had a baby, and this was what came out. I
Yeah.
remember that.
What the heck is
Yeah,
this?
it was supposed to be a fitness headset.
Yeah, but this wasn't even released, but this looked like it would have been good.
I do wonder because it's weird that this new Vive Flow, it's really like a sit and watch Netflix headset. You know, this is not. There's no controllers. It has to be plugged into a phone or a battery pack. It's such a watered down headset for $500 that it seems like, what market are they trying to reach? Where are they trying to go with this? I'm very curious about their intentions with this new headset because it just kind of seems like with all the news that's come out of what it's going to be, it kind of seems like it's going to be dead on arrival to me. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To me, I think if they do go with design of this, then it might be kind of like what laptop was it? But you've plugged external device in, an external computing device. So essentially, it was just a It was essentially a trackpad, a keyboard, and a monitor. But you can plug in your phone. You can plug Android. You can plug a Pi in it.
And that's essentially what this Vive Flow is. And there was an LG already did something like this years ago. I don't know if you ever caught about anything about that or heard of it, but there was the LG 360 VR that would attach to your phone, do all this, and they only charged $200, I think, for that. So it's like, how is this thing $500? You know, how does that compute?
Maybe they're actually going to do games, but this thing has a lot of power inside of it. Like, actually, you can run games on it. You can have... So, Steam has this phone VR app. So, maybe, just maybe, they're going to come with controllers or hand tracking so that they can do, like, hand tracking apps. You can do VR content. And maybe it also could be, like, a battery pack or... I just don't know for sure. I think this is mainly going to be for consumers if it's just for watching stuff.
If you're on long train rides a lot or plane rides, I do like the fact that it's a small form factor. I feel like the few people out there that I have tried to show VR that were like too afraid to put the headset on, they're like, oh, it's too weird looking, I don't want to do it. I feel like at least they would put this on. It just looks like a pair of sunglasses, like a fat pair of sunglasses.
Fat,
this would probably be the thing.
pair of sunglasses.
Yeah. It seems like this is the thing that you could get anyone to put on their face at least once and try. So that could be, you know, they're trying to reach those last few people that are still against VR, maybe. I don't know.
Speaking of sunglasses, our sponsor, Ray-Ban. I'm joking. I can never get a sponsor. And also, talk about Ray-Ban. There is Facebook has made the Ray-Ban glasses that...
Smart glasses, yeah.
Yeah, which I've heard a rumor that it was going to have VR and AR compatibility.
Well, now that they've announced it, they've said it's basically just when it's smart glasses, it's not even AR anything. Like there's no monitors or anything inside the lenses. It's really just basically a camera and speakers on the side, and that's pretty much it. You can listen to stuff, you can record stuff, but there's no AR, VR, anything to it, which was very disappointing to a lot of us in the industry that were hoping to see, you know, a better version of Google Glass or something finally come out. It's not going to be that.
Better, a cheaper version of the... I think Lynx actually did it before. Like, we were talking about links, but I'm pretty sure they had an AR headset that was incredible but really expensive.
Yep. Yeah, that's been the name of the game for way too long in the VR industry. The really cool stuff is way too much money. It's like that Vario headset.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video about that?
On
Where
Thrill Seeker?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure he's dropped several videos.
Like,
I know I saw one.
him playing it.
with a
He just
thumbnail
got
where he said
freaking
it was.
Phantom Sense. Like, I know Phantom Sense because, like, I've actually done something really weird where you just, like, where was it? It was at, like, a mall. But you put this headset on your head, and they had this thing attached to your back. And you could just, it, like, showed you a third-person view of you. And it was smooth, too. It wasn't, like moving around. Like that. It was actually staying still, like a GTA. And,
That's cool.
like, I tried to
Yeah,
touch
probably
something, and I actually didn't touch it, but I got that Phantom Sense. Like, because
The camera stabilization. That's cool. That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone has done a video on something like that, but I'm pretty sure he did it himself. What's the guy? He also in, like, the quietest room in the world. What's his name? He's back!
He's back. We're talking about the Vario and other headsets right now. VRC catch you up.
Yeah. And there's something Vario's coming up with, which it might be epic. They haven't announced it yet, but this has been a really good year for Vario, except for the price point. Like, $2,000 for just a headset. I mean, if I had that much money, I'd be buying a Valve Index and a new PC. The whole set.
And they're talking about having a subscription as well with the Vario headsets. So, yeah, you're talking constant spending money on it. But the fact that they're talking about the teleportation, that was what I was talking about the video of.
Teleportation.
Yeah. So basically, instead of getting into your VR headset and your whole room is transformed around you into another world like we do now, this could actually scan your entire room around you and recreate it into a virtual model. And so you could be in your living room and it would be projecting your living room, and then you could invite 3 of your friends and they would pop up in your living room through the headset, your actual digital representation of your living room. And then you all could sit there and hang out and talk together. I mean, you could even be like, you could invite an interior decorator in and you'd be like, hey, what do you think about this painting on this wall? And they're like, oh, try moving it to that wall. And in real time, you take the painting down and move it to the other wall. They would see all this happening, even though you're moving real world objects. And so they're calling it teleportation because it's essentially like teleporting someone into the space with you, even though they're not actually there. You only see them in your headset.
Which is incredible, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I thought they were actually just using cameras. Like, they're actually making a 3D model of your room.
So
that
there's
would
cameras and there's a 3D scanner built into the headset that would all work together to make a model of your entire area around you at the same time.
I would want that just for use, like, in Blender. Just not VR use. Like, screw that. VR use. Just using it in Blender. Just, like, I want to make a model of my house. It's like, oh, hey, random Minecraft character. And also, guess who's here?
I saw Nat got here.
Yep. Hey, Nat.
Yeah. That's super cool. But yeah, it's thousands of dollars with a subscription. It's business focused. We're not going to see that in the consumer domain for quite a while. But the fact that it's being worked on, that it could be coming, that's the future of VR I actually see. Like, when it can feel like it's bringing people into your real presence, your real world, because that's not even augmented reality. That's still in the VR realm more. It's almost, we're starting to blur the lines between the two when we start to do stuff like this. And that's where the term XR keeps popping up, extended reality or mixed reality. That's where we can actually have real life people in our own actual rooms with us without having to have them there. And that's an amazing possibility for connection, especially across the world with people you can't be with. I mean, think about how many doors that opens to people feeling like they really have a real connection relationship with their loved ones who are across the world. It's huge.
Yeah, and imagine the possibility for developers too. Like, imagine you're going to a car game. You have a car simulator thing. You sit in it, and all of a sudden, the world around you is like there's falling blocks everywhere, and it just like turns into a racetrack, so you can just drive around your room without even moving. And when you're done, it teleports you right back there.
Yeah. I think the next 15 years, 20 years of tech is going to be really incredible. What we're going to start to see, because tech for so many years it's been amazing. There's been cool things, but so often we've had to look through a screen to see that things happen. Whether it's a TV, a phone, a monitor. To suddenly feel like you're actually in there and a part of it, that is really exciting to me. That's a whole different world.
That's integration, and that is, what's it called? Frick. I keep talking about this to my friends, and I'm like, as soon as I talk to somebody else about it, I'm like, what is it? Google, what is it? Immersion.
Full dive VR is another thing people talk about and call it, where you really don't feel like you're still you sitting in a headset, where it feels like what you're doing is real. And we are a long ways off of a lot of those solutions, but every chance I get to try something and see it, it's just amazing to see what people are trying to build right now.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of an idea I had a long time ago. You talking about the Vario headset? Like, I thought that smart me could make a filmer, like kind of like my own little head filmer, where I can film my head movement and like what I'm looking at by putting a phone on a VR headset and taking off the top of the VR headset. Like, like one of those phone VRs where the back plate is showing. I could just take that off and just use it to walk around filming. Like, that'd be cool for like TikTok or YouTube. Mainly YouTube, because I didn't even know about TikTok back then, and I don't use TikTok.
I think that's what these smart glasses that Facebook made, they're trying to do, because it has a camera on it, but you're looking through your actual eyes. But there was some apps on even the Gear VR back in the day that were more augmented reality than VR, where it would look through the little camera facing outward, just like you were talking about, and then you could change the world. You could tap the button once and it would turn into a pixelated version, tap it again, it would turn it into the Matrix and stuff like that.
Matrix. I imagine Matrix VR game, like shooting down robots and killing Morpheus for no reason multiple times.
I was gonna say Super Hot is about as close as it gets. You play Super Hot and you put on the Matrix soundtrack, that is a perfect pairing right there.
I play VR. I've played Super Hot on my PSVR before I stopped.
Yep. That's what I did, because I had Spotify on the PS4, so I went on, put on the Matrix soundtrack on Spotify, and then played Super Hot VR on the PSVR, and that was a blast.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun! Just like I'm in the Matrix, mommy. Look at this. I'm beating up red hot guys. Why are you in a gay porn set? No, that's not it. Wait, what did you say?
Oh gosh. Well, what other questions did you have for me? I've got to meet with my editor here in a little bit. So what else were you hoping we'd talk about or hit on today?
Oh, where do you think VR is going towards? Like, Vario has released one of the most advanced VR headsets to date. Where do you think it's going?
I think that there's going to be a merge sometime in the near future between the AR realm and the VR realm. And I don't know if they're going to call it XR. I don't know what it's going to be. But I think that eventually we will get to the point where smartphones may not be necessary anymore. We may have a simple pair of glasses that works through voice commands and hand gestures, and, maybe even those weird Neuralink implants they're talking about. I don't know. That's a little out of my realm there. But I really believe that it will become much more user-friendly, much lighter, much easier. And think about, when you're driving a car, trying to look at your phone and look at directions, it'd be so much easier if Google Maps was just in your glasses. You'd see a blue line going down the lane you need to be in, going that way, and follow that. I think that it will make our lives a lot easier, and I think that mass adoption it'll still take a lot of time, but it will start to slowly happen more and more as these headsets get cheaper and people get more excited about them. We still have some big roads to overcome. I just demoed it the other night for a few guys who are really interested in it. And, one of them got kind of sick playing The Walking Dead. So we got to overcome VR sickness. That's one of the biggest hurdles right now still, because that really holds people back. But I think, 10, 20 years from now, we'll have simple glasses that we put on that make our everyday life much easier with the use of apps. And then you might be able to tap them and go into a VR game or walk into the metaverse, and it'll be a totally different experience than what we're experiencing now. We are in the Atari days, if that, with VR. You know, we're in the early days, and so it's only going to get much more amazing from here.
Yeah. So, do you want to say anything before we go off?
No, I want to say obviously thank you. VRC's been here almost the whole time. Glad Nat popped in. There was several other viewers quite a few times in there, but not everybody always gets in the chat. They want to sit back and listen. So I think that was awesome. I want to thank you for having me come on and talk about. This is what I love about VR. I love talking about all these cool ideas and what people are doing with it, getting to meet new people, make new friends. So I've had a really good time here, and I don't want to go film now. I just want to keep talking about VR all day.
Well, duty calls.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming here. I'm very grateful.
Definitely. I'm glad to be here. And I posted once on the Discord about it. But I know you're recording this too. If you do trim it down to some sort of video or you put it somewhere, you put access to it, let me know. I'll send some more links out in case people want to come back and check it out. But I had a great time being here. Thank you, CBro.
Hey, you came out to be here, so thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye, everybody in chat.